Not so fast, Papa. Your attempted heist of my delicious Thin Mints will not go unpunished. See you in hell, bitch.
Hey there, Internet Best Buddies, welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you Den of Thieves. So Den of Thieves stars Gerard Butler, Pablo Schreiber, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and Evan Jones. It's a bank heist movie, so those are always pretty fun, right? For the most part, yeah. Before we go any further, I want you to go and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I put out, and so you can also become an Internet Best Buddy. Definitely like the video, and share it with some movie-loving friends. On top of that, the question for this week is, what is your favorite heist movie? My personal favorite would probably be Ocean's 11. Although I do have a real soft spot for The Perfect Score. I'll probably review that at some point, because that's a fun movie from way back when. Now on to the review. A group of thieves attempt to rob the Federal Reserve Bank in Los Angeles, but must outsmart a team of LA sheriffs who may or may not be a pack of loose cannon cops on the edge. And also, they don't seem to play by the rules. So it is a really well put together film with a lot of great action and shootouts throughout the movie. They do make a very weird choice to put labels to not only locations, but also to a lot of characters to like tell you their names, but honestly if you just watch the movie you'd be able to figure out that their names are like Big Nick and Donnie and oh man I forget the bad guy's name. Pablo Schreiber's character. They label him too, and it's kind of like unnecessary and a little distracting, to be honest. It's not throughout the movie, it's just really in the beginning, which is odd. Because we do get introduced to new characters and new locations, but they just stop the labeling in the beginning. The acting for the most part is good. No one's really great or terrible. So it's kind of like average acting wise, I guess. I wasn't really blown away by anything. I think where a lot of the actors' efforts went into was getting like super ripped for the movie, because they're all pretty jacked. Like, it was intimidating, to say the least. Gerard Butler, I honestly thought, gave the greatest acting effort in the movie, but for every great moment where he tries to put some emotion into his character, there's also another moment where he's kind of really annoying. And I understand that's how they're trying to play the character, but like, especially during the, there's like a dinner party scene, and he's just kind of obnoxious, where it's just like kind of smacking people around, being a little too macho. It was a little off-putting. But then on the other hand, it was really funny when he decides to eat a donut from a crime scene in a box that's kind of covered in blood. And he like takes a couple bites out of it because he's super hungry, and he just throws it aside, and then like some other cops are like, "You literally just threw your DNA into the crime scene." And he's like, "No, I didn't." Well, there were some funny parts for him. So the movie is about 2.5 hours, and it definitely feels it. It's way too long, it drags in the middle a fair amount, especially during the scenes when they're trying to humanize both the cops and the thieves. In particular, there's kind of a weird, out-of-place tonal scene where 50 Cent's daughter is going to prom, and then the prom date comes up, and 50 Cent's like, "Yo, let me holler at you," and he brings him into the garage, and literally the whole crew is there of thieves, and they just intimidate the crap out of this kid, and then they just like laugh at the end, and I'm like, I get it, it's to show that they're like a family and that they share a bond or whatever, but just compared to the rest of the movie, it felt very out of place, and that could have easily been cut. Just a few scenes like that. The movie does require you to suspend your disbelief a little bit with just how complex this heist is going to be, and like how they get the information, how everything kind of comes together, and it's a little too unbelievable, to be honest. There were two moments in particular that I remember where I was sitting watching the movie, and what I was thinking actually kind of manifested on screen. The first one being when Pablo Schreiber's character, the main thief, he's explaining the overall heist that they're going to do at the Federal Reserve. He's like going through all these steps and everything, and I'm like, how could he possibly have gotten that information? Like, it's so complex and specific. I don't understand how he got all this information together just from when he gets out of jail in the beginning of the movie. And as soon as I thought that, 50 Cent is on screen and he goes, how'd you get all this information? How can it be trusted? And then Schreiber says, "Don't worry about it. It's not important how I got the information. It's solid." And my response was, "You caught me at a good moment. and I'm sure the other audience members were thinking the same thing. But I'm not accepting your answer. And then they do explain the answer later in the movie. And then the other thing I was thinking, watching the movie, was, is there going to be like a heist reveal where it shows like how everything came together and like the behind the scenes stuff of how it literally all came into place? And they do have one of those. And if you saw any of the marketing material leading into this movie, apparently some of the later trailers are like, oh, don't miss this big twist. To which I would say, do not ever do that for your movie. Okay? Speaking of that heist reveal at the end of the movie, somehow it's both equally really rewarding, but extremely unsatisfying at the same time. It's a very mixed bag at the end. Although everything leading up to it, from the bank heist to the Federal Reserve, all that stuff was so good. It was awesome. I love the shootouts in this movie. Is Den of Thieves a great film? No. However, it's still a fun take on the heist genre, and despite its many flaws, it's still a pretty entertaining movie. Den of Thieves gets a 6 out of 10. So I did see Den of Thieves opening night, and there really weren't a lot of people in the theater. There were honestly maybe like 10 of us. And I think that had to do with the fact that 12 Strong also released the same day. But this group of audience members was leaving, and while I was taking a potty, I heard them in the, the hallway, like, man, we should have seen Jumanji. Heard that was great. Which, I mean, not the best buzz you want coming out of your movie. I haven't seen Jumanji yet, but I did hear good things. So thanks as always for watching. It really means a lot to me that you're taking the time to watch the videos. Definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date. Like the video, share it with your friends, all the stuff I told you literally in the beginning of the video. And make sure to leave a comment letting me know what your favorite heist movie is. Thanks again for watching, everybody. See ya!